Conor Benn has got that activity which has plagued him for a long time. We believe he'll be stronger, sharper, and better in the rematch, and looking to overturn the result. So in our mind, nothing else but a Chris Eubank Jr. rematch and Conor Benn.
I'll never respect him, and I can't break bread with him. I can't shake his hand because there are kids that are looking at this fight and this whole situation with the drugs.
Eddie Hearn isn't just promoting a rematch, he's fueling an inferno. According to the Matchroom boss, Conor Benn is no longer the scattered, reckless fighter fans once saw. He's evolved, laser-focused, and obsessed with one goal: erasing the humiliation Chris Eubank Jr. handed him. Hearn claims there's no alternate route, no distractions, only destruction. In his view, this is no longer about redemption, it's about total war.
The reason why Chris Eubank wouldn't want the fight, you know, it's obviously a significant purse for him. The first fight was a thriller, one of the best fights I think Britain's seen in a long time.
But Eubank Jr.'s manager, Elliot Amoko, isn't buying the hype. He's laughed off Hearn's declarations as pure desperation, branding the rematch nothing more than a nightmare in waiting for Conor Benn. Amoko confirmed that the rematch is nearly sealed, and this time, he promises it'll be a massacre. According to him, Benn barely survived the first beating, and the second won't offer him the same mercy.
Junior comes through that. Eubank Jr. Canelo. Here we go.
That's what we want. We get through Conor Benn, and then we want Canelo.
Brilliant, mate. Listen, Nabba, as always, thanks so much.
Yes, man.
Quick one on Andrew Tabiti. How does he win on Friday? Why should people tune in?
He is one of the most explosive fighters you'd see in and around the heavyweight and cruiserweight division, and he's proper pumped up for this. We've just seen that Lawrence Okolie is going to fight Kevin Lerena, so potentially the Bridgerweight title is going to be...
It'll be shorter, nastier, and far more humiliating, Amoko warned. There'll be no escape. Mocking Benn's defiance and false bravado, Amoko painted a brutal picture of what's coming. Eubank Jr. is stronger, sharper, and more dialed in than ever before. And once he finishes Benn for good, Amoko revealed the next chapter, the hunt for Canelo Alvarez. The first fight was a lesson, Amoko.
Have the name like a Conor Benn to generate the money like an event like a Eubank Benn does. So Chris is in a sticky situation to where for a title fight...
Amoko said, but this one's a public execution. For Team Eubank, this isn't about a rivalry anymore. It's about total obliteration. Eubank Jr. has flipped the switch. No more playing it safe. No more looking for the judges. He's looking to destroy Benn outright. To take every ounce of pride, every bit of confidence, and leave him broken beyond recognition. This isn't about getting even. It's about finishing the job. There'll be no excuses, no mercy, and no close rounds.
Conor come back, he'll be a better fighter. You know, we've got a lot to go back. Well, not a lot to go back, just to be able to take his time.
Just dominance. But across the ring, Conor Benn's camp sees things very differently. In a blistering outburst, legendary boxing icon and Conor's father, Nigel Benn, called the first fight a daylight robbery. He unleashed fury on Eubank Jr., calling him a hyped-up, manufactured paper champion who got lucky on Conor's worst night. But Nigel didn't stop there. He hinted at something darker, claiming the entire fight was a setup.
Couldn't box anymore because his legs weren't working.
Yeah.
He was throwing a lot of shots, but nothing had any real power or snap because he didn't have it in him. And so he couldn't force his size advantage on Benn.
Now, he's aggressively campaigning for an immediate rematch, swearing a fully focused, war-ready Conor Benn will destroy Eubank Jr. without mercy. As the flames grow hotter, Eddie Hearn is right there with gasoline in hand. For him, the Benn versus Eubank saga is far from over. It's just entering its most explosive chapter yet. Not everyone, however, sees the rematch as a path to redemption for Conor Benn. Veteran trainer Adam Booth didn't pull punches in his assessment of the first fight. According to Booth, Conor Benn's downfall had nothing to do with weight or size.
Yeah, I believe Eubank was the winner, yeah. There's a couple of people saying about the other way, but no, I was I thought it was one of them fights where it was so close and the scorecards probably don't, like, obviously I had it by 3-4 rounds myself, and they probably don't justify it, but
He wasn't robbed, he was exposed, Booth stated bluntly. In his view, Benn was gassed early, mentally overwhelmed, and completely outclassed. The credit, he says, belongs to Eubank Jr., who showed surgical precision, controlled pressure, and a relentless rhythm that slowly dismantled Benn round after round. This wasn't a size mismatch, Booth concluded. It was a boxing lesson. Echoing that sentiment was analyst Spencer Oliver, who described Eubank Jr.'s victory as a tactical dissection. He emphasized that Benn wasn't bullied, he was schooled.
We'll decide whether we do the rematch or drop down to natural weight 147 and fight for the world title.
People want to stir controversy over the scorecards, Oliver said, but the reality is, Eubank Jr. was in control from the opening bell. He dictated the pace, controlled the tempo, and landed the cleaner, sharper shots. Even with the judges' narrow cards, Oliver insists Eubank was 3 to 4 rounds ahead. This wasn't a debate, it was a master class, he said, criticizing efforts to rewrite the fight's clear outcome. British contender and analyst Archie Sharp also chimed in, calling out the noise surrounding claims of a controversial decision. Sharp shut it down.
Outside of the ring, he doesn't respect him at all. As a man, as a human being, he doesn't respect him. Because of the foul drugs test.
So then does he disrespect and have no respect for Canelo?
Stating Eubank Jr. controlled the fight from start to finish. People don't want to admit it, but the gap was obvious, he said. Conor Benn was game, but he wasn't close. In Sharp's view, this wasn't a competitive back and forth. It was a calculated dismantling, and anyone saying otherwise is chasing a narrative. But there are still voices in Benn's corner, fiercely loyal and unwavering in belief. Veteran trainer Tony Sims sparked debate by claiming Conor Benn was robbed.
Eubank, because if I don't do Eubank next, that ship sailed. So it has to be Eubank next. If it's not Eubank, then, you know.
While many praised Eubank's precision and clean punching, Sims rejected that as surface-level analysis. According to him, Benn's aggression, sharp bursts, and relentless tempo were the real keys and deserved the judge's nod. Sims boldly predicted that a rematch would expose the holes in Eubank Jr.'s game. He warned that a smarter, more composed Benn will flip the script next time around. This won't just be competitive, Sims vowed. This will be the night Conor Benn buries the ghosts and buries Eubank Jr. The lines are drawn, the narratives are clashing, and as the
wants it next, Eddie was talking about maybe going down in weight, and I think that if they want to get it on, they do it again, in 6 months' time, and we will come.
Rematch approaches, one thing is certain: this isn't just a fight. It's a battlefield, and someone's getting left in ruins. Boxing analyst Spencer Oliver doesn't mince words when it comes to the explosive rivalry between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. For Oliver, this isn't just another grudge match. It's full-blown personal warfare. He claims Eubank Jr.'s hatred for Benn isn't hype or promotional drama. It's real, deep-rooted, and completely justified. According to Oliver, Conor Benn crossed a line that shattered every ounce of mutual respect between the two fighters.
Happy, but I already knew what he could do, so it wasn't impressed, wasn't about it. But I knew what he could do, and I'm happy he done it. He was listening, and he did exactly what I thought he'd do, and I'm happy about it.
A line that, once violated, turns a boxer into something else, a destroyer. This isn't about titles or money anymore, Oliver says. It's about pride, principle, and legacy. In fact, Oliver goes a step further, stating that even if a name as big as Canelo Alvarez had done what Benn did, Eubank's response would have been just as ruthless. That's what makes this rematch so dangerous. Eubank isn't stepping into the ring just to win. He's stepping in to destroy, and to erase any doubt about who truly holds the power in this feud. Meanwhile, on the other side, Conor Benn is spiraling. Driven by obsession and desperation, he's chasing.
Chris wanted To be honest, with the sheer effort that Conor put in, you know, it should have been like a majority, maybe a couple of rounds. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have it so wide. But look, the right man,
Facing the rematch like a man possessed. After being mentally and physically dismantled by Eubank Jr., Benn knows this could be his last shot at redemption. He's screaming war from the rooftops, trying to rally fans and media alike, but underneath all the noise lies a harsh truth. Eubank already broke him once, and might do it again, even worse. This time, it won't be competitive. This time, it could be career-altering. Eubank Jr. isn't preparing for a rematch, he's preparing for a final execution. His mission isn't just to win, it's to finish the rivalry for good and leave Benn with nothing left. He's planning to shut the door on this saga forever and stamp his name among the sport's elite. The hype is at a boiling point, and with boxing legends, trainers, and pundits weighing in from every direction, the sport is bracing for a collision that could leave lasting damage. Boxing analyst Adam Smith adds his own fire to the discussion, calling the rematch a boiling cauldron of vengeance, pride, and raw emotion. Smith praised Eubank Jr.'s devastating comeback performance as a clear warning to the entire division, proof that he still operates at an elite level. But Smith also highlighted Benn's dangerous mental state, noting that his hunger for revenge has morphed into a toxic obsession. This isn't a boxing match, Smith warned. It's a battlefield soaked in unfinished business. Smith predicts that when the first bell rings, tactics will fly out the window. This won't be a chess match, it'll be war. Both men are carrying the weight of legacy, pride, and raw anger. One wrong move, one missed step, and it could all come crashing down. In his eyes, this is the kind of fight that defines or ends careers. Veteran trainer Jonathan Banks also gave a ruthless assessment of the first Eubank versus Benn fight. He called it a tactical masterclass from Eubank Jr., praising his icy composure, elite ring IQ, and flawless timing. While most fans were expecting a brutal slugfest, Eubank delivered surgical violence. Slow, deliberate, and effective. Benn's wild flurries, according to Banks, weren't signs of aggression. They were desperate cries for survival. Banks also crushed the narrative that Eubank struggles under pressure or suffers from harsh weight cuts. He didn't just survive it, Banks said. He owned every second of it. In his eyes, the question isn't whether Eubank is back. It's who has the courage to face him next after such clinical destruction. Trainer Peter Fury added to the consensus, delivering a no-nonsense verdict. Chris Eubank Jr. didn't just win. He dominated every moment, Fury said. While he gave Benn credit for his grit and determination, he completely dismantled the idea that it was a close contest. According to Fury, Eubank was several levels above, dictating pace, controlling distance, and landing sharp, decisive punches that Benn simply couldn't match. Fury praised Eubank's elite ring composure and tactical control, emphasizing that heart alone doesn't win fights. Skill, timing, and mental sharpness do. This wasn't a brawl, Fury stated. This was calculated brilliance. For him, the decision shouldn't even be up for debate. Eubank, in his view, is a top-tier force. Benn, he's got miles to go before he can claim the same. Now, the stage is set. The rivalry is reignited. The tension is suffocating. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn II is no longer just speculation. It's a reality. This rematch isn't about belts or rankings. It's about vengeance, legacy, and unfinished war. Eubank walks in with the confidence of a man who's already broken his opponent. Benn walks in like a man with nothing to lose and everything to prove. Trainers, legends, and analysts are split down the middle. Some predict another Eubank masterclass. Others believe in Benn's redemption arc. But one thing is certain. When these two collide again, it won't be tactical. It'll be brutal. The pressure is immense. The stakes are sky high. and there's no turning back now. Drop your predictions in the comments below. Will Eubank reign again, or can Benn shock the world? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more savage boxing breakdowns.